Hello, my name is Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine. We're here today doing the TUAW and MacTech Magazine interviews of developers at WWDC 2011. Joining us now is David Niemeijer from AssistiveWare. And first of all, welcome. Thank you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do for the company, what the company does, and give us a little background.
Sure. AssistiveWare is a company that's focused on developing solutions for people with disabilities. We've been doing that for many, many years for the Mac, and we're now also doing it for iOS. And we have solutions for people with vision impairments, speech impairments, physical impairments, a whole range of solutions.
Okay.
And probably the app most people know about is called Proloquo to Go, which is a solution that gives people a voice who cannot speak.
Okay.
They can actually pull out their iPad or iPod and use that to communicate with.
And are they typing something, or are they?
They can press buttons on the screen with symbols, or they can actually type something and have that be spoken by the software.
Great, great. Interesting. I don't know that I heard of AssistiveWare for a long time, but I wasn't aware of the depth that you were of these types of things that you were doing. What did you think about the announcements here at WWDC?
I think for us the most interesting announcements were not made yet, but will probably be made once the products are released.
Okay.
But what I personally liked very much was the iCloud stuff.
Yes.
Because one of the characteristics of our users is that many of them actually buy an iPad or an iPod Touch just to use our app.
Right.
And because of that, they're not really familiar with these devices.
Right.
So they struggle a lot with iTunes.
Okay.
And iCloud potentially takes iTunes out of the equation in many cases.
Yep.
So I think that will be really a real boon to our user community.
Right. So what are you hoping for or expecting to see maybe in the way of announcements once these products become finalized? In a few months?
I'm expecting that there are going to be a number of enhancements in the field of accessibility, which will partly be some things that may duplicate some of the things we have in our products, which means they make some of our products less relevant.
Yes.
But at the same time, they also open up new opportunities for us.
Right.
Because we always try to develop solutions that are complementary to what's built in.
Great. How'd you get into doing AssistiveWare? It's kind of an unusual market for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, many years ago, I think 1995, 1996, a friend of mine had a very serious car accident, broke his neck, was paralyzed, and I actually started making some software for him to gain access to the computer and be able to do the kind of things he was doing before that without a computer. And then, you know, from one thing you roll into another and another, and then someone says, I need a solution for this, I need a solution for that. And so we're basically the market leader in solutions that provide universal access to the Mac.
Now, I know that you guys are based in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Is there international elements of development here? I mean, for AssistiveWare, do you find that it's actually easier than it would be for a lot of developers from overseas because you're not dealing with language necessarily as much, or you're dealing with it in different ways? Well, or is it a harder challenge or an easier challenge?
Our biggest market is the US, and actually one of our smallest markets is our own country.
Sure, sure.
So we're very focused on acting worldwide.
Right.
And our Mac products are localized in many different languages.
Right.
And we're currently going through the same process for our iOS apps, which are currently English, but we're expanding that. I think the main thing is we are really operating in a niche.
Right.
And by operating in a niche, we are a small company, but yet we have a relatively high visibility with Apple. We collaborate quite closely on accessibility-related things with them, and you know, that works really well, I think, for both sides, and especially also for the user community.
Great. Is there anything I haven't asked you about that maybe you want to talk about here about new products?
No,
or
not necessarily.
Okay, no. Great. Well, we've been talking here with David Niemeijer from AssistiveWare, and my name is Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine, doing the MacTech Magazine TUAW interviews of developers at WWDC 2011. Thanks for coming, David.
Well, it's my pleasure.